right, I'm just getting things set up here. You just bear with me. Hi, Pam. Glad you could join tonight. Just trying to get a couple of things set up here, and we will get started. Hey, Denise. All right. I think we're pretty close to hitting the 6:30 mark here. I'm just going to take a moment and introduce myself. Hey, I'm Shel Anderson from Shel's Creative Corner and Shel Anderson Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I blog at shelscreativecorner.blogspot.com, and I can be reached anytime by email at andersonshel@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and Facebook under Stamp with Shel. I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight for Monday night Stamp with Shel. And I will be honest, this is a very, very rushed video for me. I was leaving work today and I didn't have anything planned for today's video. And I was leaving work today on time at 4:30. And I thought, oh, I've got lots of time to go home and figure something out. Went out and got in my car, and lo and behold, I had left my dome light on, and guess what? My car wouldn't start. So I had to find somebody to give me a boost, and of course I was late getting home and blah, blah, blah. So here we are. And I thought, what am I going to do? And in my frenzy, I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I thought, okay, I saw a gorgeous card today on the Demonstrator Planning Place. That's the website for demonstrators for Stampin' Up. And this card was by Angela Wilson Meyer. And it was simply beautiful. There's no other way to put it. There's nothing I can change. There's nothing that you could do to make it any better than it is. So I'm just going to do it and show you her card, her design, but I'm going to share it with you because I am very sure that you're going to want to make these cards for yourself because they are simply beautiful. Hey, Carol, glad you could join us. All right, the supplies for today's card are the Christmas season bundle and the Christmas to Remember bundle. Surprise! It's Christmas! You're going to need a cherry cobbler marker, and you're going to need 3 ink pads. Soft seafoam, cherry cobbler, and evening evergreen. You're also going to need the holiday rhinestones and a secret tool. I'll show you that later. And I've got some cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. She did not use this. This is what I'm going to use. And we are going to get started right away. And I've got my stamps loaded up on blocks and ready to go. So we are going to get stamping. I am going to bring this in, and I'm also going to grab piece of scrap paper, some well-loved scrap paper, and we are going to start with the evening evergreen. And I'm going to ink up this beautiful bow, and I am just going to stamp that off the edge like so. And this is on very vanilla cardstock. Woo, that one stuck. And now I'm going to do the fill in with the single bow right in the middle. Isn't that pretty? I don't use enough very vanilla. So now we are going to ink up, and I didn't even load this stamp, I will find that stamp set. And I am going to load one more stamp that I neglected to put on a block. And it is this one right here. And I'm just going to load this on the back side here. And we're going to open up our soft sea foam. And we're going to stamp this one. I'm only going to use part of it here and there. Maybe like this. And as you can see, that didn't stamp very well. But because they're photopolymer, I should be able to fix that. Look at that. One of the benefits of photopolymer. There, I'm done. That is the end of the soft sea foam. And next up, we are going to put some cherry cobbler. And I have the big berries. And you can see that there's a little bit of smudging here and there, but that's okay. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I am just going to turn this so I can see where those smudges are. I want to cover one of them at least. There we go. And maybe some in there, a couple here, and how about right there? See how that red just, this side is just as dirty. The cherry just absolutely pulls it all together. All right, so we have that. Now I want to just sit this aside for a minute. And while I have this out, I want to stamp my greeting. And we're making 2 cards tonight. So I'm going to make one exactly the way she did. And then I'm going to make one a little bit different that's going to be my own. Now, she used Evening Evergreen ink, so that's what we're going to use. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle of this very vanilla. And that didn't work so well because I have a shadow. Good thing there's 2 sides to a piece of paper, and I still have a shadow. I wonder if I can cut it out. Oh yeah, no problem at all. All right, we're just going to sit that aside, close up these ink pads, except for this one. Now we're going to bring in our special tool. Now, some of you may have seen this before. We were talking about the old spritzer tool that Stampin' Up! Used to have, and how I like that tool, but sometimes it's hard to control. And you guys, like a lot of you guys, don't have that tool. So this is our, hey Brenda, glad you could join. This is our specialized tool. Yep, it's a shameless plug for Odyssey Dental on Regent Avenue. And what we're going to do is we are going to take some ink off the ink pad with this toothbrush. Now, if I had the re-inker, I would use the re-inker and put a drop in here, but I don't have the re-inker yet. So I'm just picking up some ink, and then I'm going to take a little bit of Stampin' Mist. Oops. And I'm just going to mix this up. Now, watch the magic. Just hold the brush over your project, and you can flick just little bits, and you get a fine sprinkling, shall we say, of dots. Now I'm going to clean this off, and then I'm going to hold that up to the camera so you can see, and then we'll set this aside to let it dry. I'm just going to lift this right up so you can see how fine those little dots are, and I have to wait a moment for the camera to catch up so I can see if you can see. See how fine that is? Isn't that cool? Very, very specialized tool. All right, while that's having a moment to dry, we're going to bring in our baby, and we're going to die cut that greeting. Magic is in the air. And this die is from the bundle. Oops. There we go. Take that out of the way. All right, so there is a little bit there, so I'm going to do the same technique. Once again, I'm going to bring that paper back in, and just so that it doesn't look so conspicuous, I am going to splatter this one as well. There we go. Easy peasy. A little splatter hides everything. All right, we're going to set this one aside to dry, and we are going to get our card base and our bone folder. This is just a standard card base. And very vanilla, and this is not thick very vanilla, this is just standard very vanilla tonight. And because I want a little something on the inside, I'm going to stamp in the bottom corner that, that, and some berries. There we go. Just to dress the inside up just a wee little bit. Now, let me close these up again. I've had these open more than I've had them shut. Now we're going to bring this panel in, and we're going to flip it over. And I am going to find my dimensionals and add some dimensionals to the back side. Oh, we're running out. It's almost time to reload my silicone mats. I have one more left under here. All right. And I'm going to be generous here because I don't want any saggy middles. And in case you're wondering, I cut this to, I don't know what she cut it at, but I think mine's a bit smaller. I cut mine to 3 3/4 by 5 so that I would have a nice little border behind there. And now we're going to go to the mini dimensionals for our greeting. And I'm just going to sit this down here. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to set it down here. Seems to fall in there nicely. And I have chosen the Cherry Cobbler and Gold ribbon. Or I thought I did. What did I do with it? There it is. So I'm going to grab my bow maker and I'm just going to make a tiny bow, I think. I'm going to try it and see what it looks like with this width of ribbon. If I don't like it, we can always move the pegs and make it a little bit larger. Alright, we'll grab some ribbon scissors and have a peek. Oh, I like it. I like it small. Now, we'll zhuzh it up a little bit. And we will trim our tails. We may trim them a bit more after, but for now, that's as far as I'm going to go. And I'm going to grab a glue dot. And I'm going to put that, oh, I didn't cut that tail very good, did I? There we go. And now I'm going to grab another glue dot to put under those wild tails so that we can tame them. Because I want them to stay put. I'm going to trim that one a little bit more. Still a little long. There we go. One more glue dot. There we go. We'll trim this one just a titch more, just so it doesn't block our greeting. Now, to finish off, I told you that we were going to use the holiday basic rhinestone jewels. Okay? But these come in red. Okay? I took my cherry cobbler marker and I actually colored them with the Stampin' Right marker so that they're more a rich, deep color. And because it's an alcohol marker, it only takes a minute or two to dry. And there we have a very, very simple but so pretty card. And that one is done in the very vanilla. All right, that's card number 1, my friends. I'm going to clean up a little bit here so I can find my desktop again. And we're going to move on to card number 2. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining. All right, card number 2. I've changed this one up a little bit. This one, we're going basic white. And this one too is just standard basic white. It's not the thick basic white. This one, I thought I would change it up and add a panel of foil. This is actually brass foil. And I am going to use dimensionals to put this on the card front. Just so that we can have a little bit more sparkle. Just make it just a little bit more special, if that's possible. I think the card is gorgeous the way it is, but I thought I would try something different. And we are just going to try to match our margins. And that is not correct. Let's start over again. Usually when you get them on 3 sides, you're good. There we go. That's not bad. All right, so there is our card base. Now we have to work on our card. So I am going to use the same color inks. And we are going to, I'm just going to open these up and have them ready to go. All right, we are going to start here. And this time I am going to change it up just a wee bit. Just filling in so it looks like tree branches. And we're going to do 3 this time. And I'm going to close that. Then I'm going to grab the soft sea foam. I can never remember the name of that color. And we're going to add a little bit. And you have to remember that these inks, as they dry, are going to lighten a little bit. When I first did the Evening Evergreen, I thought, oh, that's going to be pretty dark. But no, it worked out good. So, all right, there's just a little bit of something, something. And now we're going to go with some cherry cobbler berries. It amazes me how much this changes when you put the cherry cobbler on. It just changes the whole look of it. All right, we are down to here. I'm going to change the greeting this time. We're going to just slide that aside for a minute. I'm going to do my greeting in cherry cobbler, and I am going to do it with this greeting. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to use a die cut or not. All right. Let's have a look and see. I think I'm going to fussy cut that with scissors instead of using the die cut. But I am still going to do my splatter technique. Oops. So I am going to pick up some ink on my toothbrush, add a little bit of Stampin' Mist, and find my paper piercer and just do my little flicking. There, I think that's enough. We'll set that aside, and I will clean off this paper piercer. All right, now, yes, it's a very elegant card, but as I said at the start of the video, this is not my idea. This is a borrowed idea, but it was really hard to change it up much because what this girl did was just beautiful on its own. So I'm shamelessly copying, just adding a little bit of detail of my own. All right, time for some dimensionals, mini dimensionals for the tag. And this time we are going to change it up a wee bit and use some of the gold cording. And I think it's going to be fine with just the little hint of brass foil, because this has a very orangey, it's a very orangey gold. So I'm just going to make, or try to make here, if I can get it around, a little wee bow. Now, I know when she made her card, she did not put any bows. She put just a swirl of ribbon in behind the greeting. You could go that way as well. All right, we have all our bits. Let's get this out of the way and let's get this card put together. And then we'll see if we like the white one or the vanilla one better. Frankly, I think we're going to like them both. Oh, sorry, I have to peel this up. This is crooked. It's very crooked and very noticeable. These old eyes aren't what they used to be. 'Tis the season. Very soon. Very soon. All right, glue dots. What did I do with them? Over here. Now this one has to be rolled up like a taco to go on the back of this very, very fine cording. All right. See if we can get this on here and in place. It seems to be getting away from me a little bit. I'm going to pull the tails just a bit. And then once we get this glued in place, I'm sure it'll be fine. Or if it's not, we'll be tearing it off and starting again. There we go. That's good. All right. We'll trim that tail just a wee bit. And the other one is fine. Now we need to get this onto foil. And you know that me and Tombow and foil do not mix, because if I use Tombow, I get it all over the foil. So we're going to tape runner, and hopefully I get this some semblance of centered. And I know your guys are getting a lot of reflection. I apologize for that. I am going to go into my embellishment bin and find I'm looking for those gilded gems, not genial, these ones, although those might look nice too. No, I think I'll go with these ones. And one just fell off and said, "Hello, could you please put me on your card?" And there we have it. And there we have our stepped up version. Same card, just added a little bit of foil and a little bit more sparkle. And I didn't do anything on the inside of that one, but I will. Before I clean my stamps, I will just stamp the inside like I did on our first one. Hello, Michelle. So here's our first one with the very vanilla with the cherry cobbler dots. So now comes the time. Which one do you like better, vanilla or white? I like them both. I think they both have a place. This one here, if I did it again, I think I would put cherry cobbler in behind here just to zazazoo it up just a little bit. Anyway, that's it for tonight, ladies. I am so glad you joined me. I'll be back Wednesday in the VIP group, and I hope to see you all there. Bye-bye for now.